Best of r/Tales from Retail episode 105. Subscribe for edit videos daily. Another story remembered me of this here. I have a few similar crazy ones to share, but this has stuck in my mind very well because it was just so crazy. I can share a few more of those crazy stories if you want me to. I have 2 more, even better, stories about this topic XD. So, backstory. I worked in retail since 2014, but quit there in November 2016 and changed to the company in this story in June 2017. I was just a strange Black Friday behavior, but nothing like the store's craziness. That Black Friday 2017 I dealt with so much crazy stuff that I didn't have experienced in the 2 years at the other company, even though that other company was a much bigger brand, but at the same time had a lot more employees too, so I guess I just didn't catch as many crazy as XD. The company in this story is a small electronic shop with 2 stores in my city, but a lot more in the neighboring company, and it has a really big online store, so it's very well known. On said Black Friday I was working at the front, like always, greeting customers and showing them the right direction for what they're searching or giving answers to easier questions, like do you still have product XY for the sale price? If I got told by my colleagues that we've run out of some products that are quite wanted, there were a whole lot of PPL in the store. I've never seen it that full, and I didn't even have a second to catch my breath or anything. The phone/tablet department was also filled to the brim. Even though there was one manager and about 2-3 colleagues there and all were busy, there was still a line of customers, and I had a lot coming to me whining about how they just want XY and why I can't give it to them, no key and not allowed because not my job, and why they have to wait. The standard stuff. I just did my work, trying hard to keep customers entering and asking stuff and wishing goodbye to the ones leaving. From the direction of the phone department comes a customer, C, with an Apple iMac in hand and walks to the exit. Okay, strange. The service desk, also responsible for in-store pickup for orders, is at the other end of the store, and if he wanted to buy it an employee would have brought it. I shrug it off. Perhaps he got it from the service desk and just asked something at the department. It was so full that I didn't know if I've seen him in the back or not at all. He had a brown trench coat, looked orderly and well dressed, had a few papers in his hands too on a map, together with a document bag. Like many of our Apple customers, he had an "I have money and I'm entitled to good customer service" feeling. He wants to go out. Alarm beeps. We had stickers which responded to the front gates if not put over the cash desk to deactive. The guy freezes and puts the iMac on the floor. He looks panicked. Also nothing unusual since the service desk tends to not deactivating the stickers for bigger stuff since it's a bother to get them onto their desk. The only way to deactivate. And most PPL hate it when the alarm starts to beep on them and get nervous. I've seen it a lot of times already. So I walk up to him. I still remember that conversation quite well, but it's probably not 100% accurate. It mostly went like this. Hello. Don't worry about the alarm. That happens sometimes. Can I see your receipt please? Since the uppermost paper on the map in his hand looked like a receipt from ours, they're always A4 papers. I started to reach for it. C flinches back. No, that's not the receipt. Oh, okay. No problem then. I just need to please see the receipt. Can you show it to me? C, well, this is not the receipt. Yeah, but I need to see it please as proof of purchase. C, that's not the receipt here. I try to glance at the paper on top because it looks like it has our logo on it. Like I said, it's no problem. If you can show me the receipt then you can leave without issues. C turns the papers away from me. These aren't. So, where's the receipt then? C starts to look around frantically. I thought that was an empty box. I was so damn baffled. I looked at him for a moment, then looked at the box. I mean, maybe it was in fact really an old empty box he got from us for whatever reason or something. You never know. But who would have thought it? The box had the original orange Apple seal line on it, marking it as a new and sealed product. Sorry, that's not an empty box. There's an iMac inside. C, oh, really? Then I won't take it. With those words he turned around and left, leaving me standing in the entrance with the iMac and having a WTF was that just now? Face. Cash desk manager. CD noticed what was up apparently, so when the customer left she gave me a questioning look and asked me what that was about. She was a few meters away, on the other side of the entrance, and I didn't wanna take the iMac over there. Wasn't even sure if that would be fine. I was very new and still quite unsure about a lot of things, and CD could be frightening, and couldn't leave it there obviously, so I gestured for her to come over. She did, and I told her the whole story. She also had a WTF look on her face, then looked at me and told me, "You know what? He wanted to steal this iMac. Let's go put it back." The moment she said it, it made total sense. But I just didn't think of it until she said it. I took the iMac and walked with her over the department, where one of the packed ones was missing. There were always 4, chained together, and only the staff was allowed to open the chain. Though anyone could do it since it wasn't really locked, which was very stupid obviously. The manager was standing at the desk right next to it. So we told him to chain it back again, and someone tried to steal it and he was like, "And what should I do? I don't have time. Don't you see this customer line?" Annoyed, I told CD, so we decided to just chain it back by ourselves. While we did, 2 female younger adults, around mid-20 I guess, walked over and told us they saw a guy fiddling with the chain but weren't sure whether to say something or not, and then they were occupied with other things. They really were sorry, even though it wasn't their job at all. Guys, this freaking iMac was worth €2,700. I kid you not. Had I not noticed / had the thief not freaked at the alarm and I not reacted then, well, wouldn't have been my mistake anyway, but still. TLDR, guy tries to steal a €2,700 iMac. Alarm at the entrance beeps. I talked to him, and after saying he thought it's an open and empty box and me saying it's not, he flees. Thank you. Next. So this just happened about 15 minutes ago. I work at a gas station and most of my night I serve people through a window. One of our local junkies rolls up on a bike and wants a 2L of root beer. I tell him we only have 500 milliliters bottles, and so he asks for a 1L. I tell him again that we only carry 500 milliliters bottles, and so he pulls out a list and gets 3 other 2L bottles. He then starts muttering about how this is a useless store, but I shrug it off because I don't want to deal with any confrontation. He pays and asks for a receipt, and I put it all into 2 bags and he takes it. He then starts knocking on the glass yelling at me that I didn't give him his receipt. I turn on the intercom and tell him it's in the bag, and he starts yelling at me about giving him attitude. He called me just about every name in the book, and I just told him to leave and not come back. After telling him not to come back, he then started threatening me and said, "Don't let me catch you outside at all," so I said if he didn't leave the property I would phone the police. He kept yelling until I grabbed the phone and he immediately jumped on his bike and took off. This happens often and it's normally people asking for root beer. When did that become such a big deal? Thank you. Next. So my very first job was in a grocery chain. The cashiers and baggers were almost all high school teenagers. There were a few older people too who worked the mornings while we were in school. We were a slightly more expensive store, so we were used to Karens being unreasonable, but there was one regular who really just took the cake. On this fine day, I had the unfortunate task of cashiering for her. This lady came up and dismissed the boy who had been bagging for me so that she could do it herself, as she always did. She started lining her groceries up in rows on the belt and told me that I wasn't to start scanning until she had everything laid out the way she wanted. Once she had everything in place, she told me to scan the items in each row right to left, and if I messed up, she would yell enough to let everyone know I can't do my job. She said this with a smug smile on her face and commented that I could ask any of the other cashiers. She went to the end and got out some bags and I started scanning. It went well until I got to a pie she had picked up. There is a vertical and horizontal scanner so that whichever side the barcode is on will get picked up quickly and we can therefore go fast. But my horizontal scanner wasn't working that day, so I had to tilt the pie to get the vertical scanner to pick up the barcode. This fine piece of work starts screaming that she had laid everything out exactly the way I was to scan it and that I was ruining her pie and now the filling is going to move and spill out. It was a frozen pie. Anyways, there's no super satisfying ending. I just kept scanning. Everyone knew she was a nutcase, so I knew my managers weren't going to do anything. Thank you. Next. I work in customer service, but have been put on shifts where I go around and sanitize the store to help prevent the spread of disease. There is also someone who cleans carts at all times and keeps track of people coming in / going out of the store. I was helping my co-worker clean carts, as there were way more than one person could reasonably handle. This older lady comes back inside, gets my attention and goes, "There's an alligator outside." Now an alligator where I live isn't completely unreasonable, but judging the way no one else leaving was making a scene, I decided to peek out the door and take it into my own hands. 2 steps out the door, all I see is a 3-foot iguana, tail included. I turn back and calmly say that it's just an iguana, to which the old lady decided to pick a fight with me. No, I know an alligator when I see one. All I said was, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an iguana." Her expression said she didn't believe me and wasn't going to budge. I walked out toward the iguana, and it skittered off into the bushes. From behind me, I hear a gasp. "Ohio, that's an iguana." Nope, I didn't get any recognition. No "oh you're right." No apology. Just an exclamation like she had come to that conclusion on her own. I didn't say anything, walked back inside, and cracked up. People are hilarious. Thank you. Next. So basically I was at self-checkout. This lady was nice and asked, "Hey, can you help me with something?" I said, "Yeah, sure. What's up?" She held up a broken chocolate bunny and asked, "Can you get me another one of these?" I didn't know exactly where it was cause we have a lot of Easter stuff, so I asked where exactly it was. She got sarcastic and told me it was in the Easter stuff. I said, "Well, I don't know where exactly it was," and she said, "Well, if you don't want to do your job, I'll do it myself." I said I was sorry and I didn't know where exactly it was, and if she told me I'd get it. For example, "Oh, it's on the right side of your display table," or something like that. But no, apparently that was too hard. Her words exactly. "Well, you work here, you should know," and stormed off to grab it herself. She came back and checked out. She kept glaring at me the whole time and tried to make eye contact with me to non-verbally let me know she was pissed, as if I did something to offend her. She then complained to my manager cause I didn't know where her fucking chocolate bunny was. I'm an emotional person. I know, emotions and retail don't mix well. But my eyes started watering, so my manager ushered me to our back room and let me chill out, cry, before I tried explaining to him what happened. He said she was super vague and that I wasn't in trouble to reassure me. But seriously, on Easter? Come on. Thank you. Next. Today at work I believe the customer called me a bitch because he was frustrated with the credit card machine. So I was helping customer 1. He inserts his card chip into the machine and it read chip malfunction. This is common with the machine, it will say this 3 times then says swipe card and the credit card will then typically work. But it didn't for the customer. So I told him maybe his PIN was wrong. He got a little upset and said that he knows he put it in right. I realized I must have insulted him. The customer inserts his card 3 times again and swipes, but his card is declined again. He asks why is his card declined, and I told him either his PIN could be wrong or he has fraud alert on his card. He says he does not. Customer 2, who is behind him, says the same thing happens to his card, and asks if the machine does that to all the cards. I say no, which is true, but he doesn't seem to believe me. Customer 1 tries his card again, and once again it is declined. He is frustrated and says he knows he has money on his card. Customer 2 tells him it's no problem, he will pay for customer 1's items. It turns out that they do not know each other, so I thought that was very nice of customer 2. As I ring up customer 2's items, him and customer 1 are talking to each other. An automatic message pops up on the register screen which asks if the customer wants the store to assemble his item for an additional fee, or if the customer will do it themselves, and then I have to put their answer into the register. So I ask customer 2 if he is going to assemble it himself, and he gets upset at me. He tells me to hurry up. I'm holding up the line. I need to hurry it up. I was a bit confused, and told him sorry, it's a question I have to ask. Customer 2 puts his card into the machine and it is declined as well. He gets upset but tries again. He says the machine is the problem. Another employee who is not a cashier walks up and says maybe it is the machine. Customer 2 agrees and says the card isn't the problem. I am. As I was asking him if he wants to try another machine, the credit card machine reads approved. So his card worked, and the payment went through without me having to try a different credit card machine. As I'm staring at the register screen, customer 2 is upset and arguing and says that I'm a bitch. I hear him say she is a bitch. He starts to leave and his receipt prints. So I say, excuse me, your receipt, and hand it to him. Customer 2 grabs it from my hand and storms off. I was upset, so I said, I have no control of the credit card machine. Customer 1 approaches me and apologizes on behalf of customer 2. He says he doesn't understand why he is upset and says, sorry ma'am. I was also wearing a face mask, so maybe the customer didn't hear everything I said. Thank you. Next. I work in a sports retailer in the UK. It was a few days before Christmas and as you'd assume, it's very busy. It was coming to the end of my long shift and I'd been on the till all day. A gentleman and, I'm assuming, his son approached the till and I started to scan his items. First impression, I could tell the gentleman had no manners. The encounter went. Me, would you like a bag at all? Right single quotation mark. Gentleman, no. Me being exhausted, I accidentally scanned and charged him a 5p bag and didn't realize. 5 minutes he comes back up to my till, without his son, and slams his receipt on the till. You asked me if I wanted a bag and I said no, so why have you charged me for one? Me, oh I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Would you like me to refund you the 5p? That's not the point though, you shouldn't have done it. Me, I'm really sorry, it's been a really busy day and I'm very tired. It was a genuine mistake and I apologize. Would you like the 5p refunded? Right single quotation mark. You still shouldn't have done it. At this point a queue of customers behind him was forming. Me, I've apologized and said it was a mistake. All I can do now is give you the 5p refund. Would you like the 5p back? Right single quotation mark. Looking a bit hopeless yet, I give him the 5p refund and he walks off. I tell him to have a nice day and he says nothing to me. The customers in the queue were laughing at him and asking me if I'm okay. I later asked my manager if the gentleman mentioned anything to him. He told me that he requested my manager talk to me about the mistake I made. My manager laughed it off with me and said he was tempted to offer him 10p from his wallet and keep the change. Also, his son was standing at the front door hanging his head in shame. Moral of the story is, I've accidentally charged customers for £50 tracksuits and they've been polite about it and even laughed about it. It's a mistake and it's easily corrected.